Okay, so first of all, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining this session that is related to the solution accelerator for credit unions. So I'll introduce myself. I am consultant in Nugent Software Technologies. I am taking care of Americas. And as of now, the reason why we are presenting this is just because there are some problems that needs to be taken care through a solution, right? And on top of that, we are attaching a word that is accelerator with the solution. So that is the kind of approach which we are presenting using a platform-based approach, right? And how we combine it, you will be able to witness that. So what is going to be the agenda? You have already seen lots of context, textual data with you. So let's start with the story so that it will be very interactive for you to gain most of the things out of this whole conversation. We'll talk about a bit of the challenges that our story characters are actually facing. And then moving on with the solution accelerators. So as of now, we are having 1200 to 1500 seconds, and we'll utilize the most of them. Okay? So let's start. These are major characters. So he's Rodriguez, and we'll call him Rod. So he's a businessman, real estate person who values cash and speed. There is the second character in the story called Linda. She's VP, Business Finance, and she values visibility. Another person, David, who's looking forward for a loan, and that major attribute he's looking forward is dependability. So talking about these three individuals, consider them as members, right? They're looking for something, and at the end, they are putting their request to credit unions. And that request will be served as fast as possible. So that is the team which will serve these three individuals. So you can consider your credit unions, maybe it is First West Credit Union, Coastal Capital Credit Union, or a number of credit unions who are having their teams inside, and they are serving those members. But is it that easy? The answer is everybody in credit union, for that matter, relationship manager, credit analyst, underwriter, everybody is facing some kind of challenge because of which the whole process turnaround time is getting affected. And because of that, there is a huge complexity which is coming into picture. And that complexity is not only making just one of the process bit complex. You can consider any of the processes which are present in credit unions which are having complexity which is very high. Maybe it is commercial lending, maybe it is consumer lending, maybe it is online account opening. You are facing some kind of challenges. So what are those challenges? Talking about you are having disparate applications. Most of the processes are paper intensive, there are lots of regulatory compliances, and there is lack of visibility. Right from the start till the end, once I'm working on different systems altogether, I'm not able to track what is happening inside. How can I serve that member request seamlessly without going on to multiple systems, without having a less visible architecture for that matter? So I should be able to track each and everything right from the start which is happening in my credit union. So that is the part which we are taking care of, and we are addressing all these challenges. So talk about disparate applications, it will be lead management systems, loan tracking systems, origination, spreading, document management, ratings, loan tracking system, different OFAC checks. So everything is happening in different systems. And at the end, one transaction is not getting linked with another. Even if it is getting linked, there is a huge turnaround time which we are facing the lack of, right? That can be defined for any workflows for that matter, not only commercial lending. I'm just giving a reference as commercial lending because that is one of the complex processes. You can think about any of the manual processes in your organization as of now, right? So what's the solution of these above problems, which is complex, having a unique perspective, who are paper intensive and rules driven. So there are lots of policies which you want to automate. So once you think of any activity which is there as right now is manual, if you think that how can I automate, that thinking itself will involve lots of changes in the process. And that will make the process very efficient. So talking about this, we always think about that solution can be these two things. Let's buy the existing point application or build something for our users. So that is exactly like buying an avenue and building a road. So there are lots of cons associated with buying, which is you have to work the way software is designed. You cannot change it. Building is its huge total cost of ownership, which internally will take very long for your users to see the testing, to see the results. So there are some cons in these two approaches, right? And for that, we need to ask some questions. So what are those questions? Because as one person said that a prudent question is one half wisdom. So just to help you with the right questions, what are those questions that one person should ask once the processes are identified that needs to be automated? Those are, does it automate your end-to-end, just skip this example, end-to-end process? Does it unify all your requirements? That as of now, if there are multiple systems in which we are going on, does it unify in one system? Does it let you build your financial differentiators? As Jason Bates said, that you need to create some differentiators. That will be your internal differentiators first, and then that will be visible to your members as well, right? Does it digitize your manual or paper-heavy processes? So as far as most of the touch points where the paper-intensive nature is coming out, let's try to figure out that how can we remove this from the process. Even if there are signatures, can be integrated with the e-signature solutions like DocuSign or Adobe Sign or something like that, right? So where multiple existing solutions can be leveraged and one-stop shop can be created. If I say the gist of this whole discussion would be, it would be to create one-stop shop. That would be accelerating your solutions, right? Does it accelerate deployments for faster time to market? Does it allow automation and configurability of credit processes? Because the major attribute is configuration, not customization. Because whenever we are thinking that we can customize it the way members are looking forward for, that creates a big challenge or a big gap itself. Are the business users able to think that how the configuration can be designed? That is the way that can be easily communicated to maybe the IT, and then IT can easily design the solution. Does it integrate seamlessly to your core banking systems, Fiserv, DNA, or other multiple systems right from the start so that they can be leveraged in the whole process? And then you automate on top of your existing ecosystem, you automate number of things. Does it enable compliance? Is mobility a seamless interface in your platform? And does it empower your people and enable better decision making? So these are kind of 10 specific questions that will give you the kind of direction that will enable that focus, which is the need of the hour. Now again, coming back to the solution, that the solution is automation, that we know. We have already figured out that there are two ways: build the solution or buy the existing point solution. Is there any other way that will answer or address all my 10 questions? The answer is cup. So that is the answer that takes care of your two approaches. So if I have to see another thing which you can take out of this session, that is this cup. So that cup stands for configurable. So we'll just focus on the first alphabet right now, configurable. So what does it mean, configurable? So we all have used these things when we were kids, right? We still use it. With my daughter, I still use that thing. So it is kind of building blocks in which you create a home, you create a truck, you create a bus, you create n number of things using the same Legos. So that's a beautiful analogy that if you understand, this is the power of the platform which you are looking forward for. You don't need a point solution that only it will address commercial lending. In future there is consumer lending, you buy another solution. In future there is online account opening, expense management. See, there are n number of things in the market. At the end you have to integrate all of them, it becomes a challenge. You want a configurable platform in which you can design things. Now U stands for unified. That I want to create a one-stop shop. I don't want to go into multiple systems. I want every system is at its place. Let me create a layer on top of all my processes so that it becomes one application for relationship managers, for my credit analysts, for my disbursement users, for my n number of users, so that they become very easy, or the application becomes very easy for them to use, right? And P stands for platform. That's what the whole base is all about. When you are using those Legos, these are all built on a platform. And because the platform approach is there, that gives you an edge that right now, even if you are just thinking of maybe commercial lending, in future this platform is there for you to take care of designing n number of solutions. Let me substantiate that point with a very good example. In leading financial institutions where we deployed our solution, that configurable unified platform, which is our solution for that matter, we started up with just one process, that was commercial lending. After that automation, when the CIO of that firm saw the power of the platform, we designed consumer lending on the same platform. We designed online account opening on the same platform. Now there are few advantages. The person who was working for consumer lending or commercial lending, when he was switching the application to consumer lending, the interface was similar. They don't have to learn that thing again. Second, that whole automation was designed on the same platform. You don't have to reinvest again. Right now, with the first approach or the first implementation, we were doing the whole implementation. Second was 50-50. 50% our people were involved, 50% that financial institute people were involved, and later on it was 80-20. 80% of the implementation was done by that financial institution themselves. And now they are talking about 15 or 20 another processes which are manual in nature, and they know that they have a very powerful cup with them, right? So that is what not only we are saying, even Gartner predicted the same thing, that for build and buy, there is another approach which provides a solution, that is BPM, which is a framework which gives you the best of both of the worlds, right? So they predicted it in 2011 itself, that in coming years, most of the automation would be done on frameworks, because they saw the most important challenge. The challenge was change management. For a point solution to be enabled to have that change management, it's not possible. So that's why even Gartner predicted that this is going to be the future. And Nugent also saw the same paradigm shift for that matter. We started off with few of the implementations in 2008 and 9, and talking about now, we have moved on with one of the biggest wins in Canada, that is First West Credit Union. They are going to start with commercial lending. They are going to automate n number of processes using the same framework. And that is the kind of power which we are enabling the credit unions for. That we want them to be future proof, as we saw that in insurance also, right? But we want that you should enable yourself to take care of the change, which is coming very fast nowadays. And those are the things which, if they are with you, you are ready for the future, right? So now what are the accelerators all about? Now you have an accelerator for commercial loan. In that you have your CRE, CNI, SBA, small medium business, every product of yours will be automated using the same cup. So I'm using it cup again and again because that will That is what I want you to leave this room with, that there is a configurable, unified platform. That is the solution for me. And that is the accelerator. So we have discussed the problem, we have discussed the challenges related to those problems, and then we have discussed the solution is framework. Now what is the accelerator attached to that solution? That is the accelerator. That we have deployed our solution in n number of financial institutions. We have deployed the same solution in Georgia Credit Union of Colorado. First West Credit Union is on the way, so we are going to start that, and we are very sure that we want to make that a big success. We are in talks with the final contracting stage with one of the other credit unions in Canada. So talking about that, we know how to localize. Newgen is responsive to the needs of credit unions, and that is on a framework approach. We are not giving a point solution. So that is just one kind of a thing what the other credit unions or other financial institutions talk about, right? So this is the whole process. You see, there are multiple stages from prospecting to dispersal and then review and renewal. Everything is happening on single system. Users are not going to multiple applications. They are just viewing one screen, one-stop shop. All your financial spreading, as Laurie pointed out in her speech as well, there are no spreadsheets. We are even disabling that use. Emails, notes, spreading, financial analysis, risk analysis, everything is one-stop shop. And at the end, you want to view the reports. There is a dynamic product which is called Business Activity Monitoring Engine that is integrated with that. So we can design n number of reports using the same. For example, we configured like 20 odd reports in one of the financial institutions. Within 6 months, they configured 420 reports themselves. So that's the kind of approach which is the need of the hour. Talking about consumer loan, so that is your configurable, again, framework which takes care of your home loan, auto loan, personal loan, agriculture loan, and other loans. So the thing is, first of all, I saw that this is going to be a chunk which is huge challenge for me. That can be anything. It can be commercial lending, it can be consumer lending, it can be your expense management, contract management, legal case management, any number of things which you can envisage. The power of platform comes into that only, that you envisage where the problem is. That is why we have a partnership with Celero, and they saw that Newgen do have those things already there in their solution suite, that we can automate n number of things using the same, right? And because Celero is along with us, most of the times the kind of Canadian regulations which are into picture can be easily put into that framework, along as per the credit union's requirement. So here again, the process starts from lead management till disbursement. So right from the start, even if you want to build a lead management module, it will be very easy using this configurable platform that leads will come in. There are multiple channels or multiple capture mechanisms which are already there in the product suite, which is first point of your digital transformation. Once we do that, we infuse that lead into our workflow. Now in workflow also, there are 3 kinds of automation which will be done. That's very important for you to know. What are those 3 automations? One is no touch. That you are not even touching the transaction. The request is automatically following a straight through processing till the end. No human intervention. There are some policies or rules which are already said yes by the system. Then there is low touch. That based on the loan amount or loan value, you are thinking that few of the diligence is required, and there are 2 manual interventions maybe in the whole process. Then there is high touch. The loan value is in millions, and that is where we need to do the diligence to the core. Right from the start, after the capture, we want to go deep down into that. What will be the policies? What are the exceptions? What are the specific credit application memorandum that we want to generate from the system? So all your documents also will be generated by the system. You don't need to go into separate system, type it and generate it and send it through the user and taking it back and getting that signed document, archiving it. Nothing will be in that manner. Everything will be so seamlessly automated that you will have track of each and every case in one application. right? Then talking about on the same platform, we are having online account opening. That's the next generation online account opening which we are talking about. So where you're having multiple channels, and as we are talking about the millennials don't want to go to the branch. They just want that system should be so powerful and there should be no friction in the system that I can upload my documents directly. There is an auto extraction which is happening based on your IDs. Everything is pre-filled. We are checking the data from Equifax, TransUnion, and fetching that data from their website as well, enabling or integrating it via LinkedIn or other systems where if there are 20 or 100 fields, most of the fields are pre-filled using that extraction, OCR, picking up the data from multiple systems. So that makes the transaction very fast. That is the need of the hour, right? And with a very good user experience. So that gives you the edge that your members are getting onto your credit union without you realizing the most important channel, which was digital, right? And if they are having any questions or concerns, you can have another process called complaint handling using the same BPM framework. So these are a couple of benefits, and coming to other accelerators which can be designed using the same. So you see, this is the wheel, which are all the accelerators available with Nugent. So talking about consumer banking, I have already showcased you. Commercial banking, payment and settlements, service request management, trade finance automation. So these are a couple of processes which are totally automated, and these are all our accelerators which are there already built. So what we do is we do the gap analysis. We already showcase you the best practices in the world, and then we try to build up that gap. Now this is one of the case study which we have done for a leading financial institution. This was the key challenges which they were facing, and these are all the challenges which I have addressed in those questions, right? So if it is paper intensive, manual processes are there, complex validations needs to be done, whether I'm looking forward for the archival and document management system, all those were addressed through this solution. And these are the numbers which we are talking about. So process turnaround time was reduced to 1 day. That was more than 10 days earlier. And that is for each and every process where you can think of the word SLA. Not only consumer lending, not only commercial lending. In your organization, whatever process you think needs to be improved, needs to be more efficient. If you attach the word turnaround time with that, there is a workflow mechanism inside the application which will enable you to automate a number of things. And who will be happy? So your members, Rod, David, and Linda. And not only they will become happy, at the end, whosoever are working in your credit union, those employees will be more happy to serve members. Because what we are giving on the table is where ease. That is the major thing which we are saying that can be developed using the solution. So this is typically that much it. I know that this is too much information to be consumed in one session itself. But yeah, if we can have a follow-up session, or if you have any questions, let me know. And the reason why I ended up, there are a few things with me, but I thought that let's have 60 seconds with us. So any questions? For sure, for sure. Great. Thank you so much.
And really, how do you encompass it all into one piece before all these other, a lot of complex things behind?
Right.
And like I wonder how you get there.
Definitely. We'll.
It's definitely the top.
Great, great.
And I'd like to, from a credit union perspective, you were looking at first class.
Yes.
Is there, and there's, so from a Canadian aspect, is there any other banks or credit unions you're working with in Canada? Or is this like now you're starting to enter into Canada?
No, we are pretty much in the market itself. So we are having CIBC Mellon with us. There is Celero partnership right now with us, right? So it was last year itself. Then we are having another partner called L&T. So we have automated one Caribbean, another bank with them through this Canadian office. So they are also having another solution, as L&T was having another solution called Unitracks. So this was the extension of Unitracks, what was not there in that product. They saw that Newgen do have all that pieces. That is the approach which we take in credit unions as well. We don't want that you change the ecosystem. We want to utilize the existing ecosystem. That is the whole approach, that how we can add value, rather than saying that please check this out, please check this out. No, this approach is not there. Great. Great then, thank you so much for your time.